You want the truth and nothing but the truth. Who do you want to be president?
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump, and why? We have to ask why.
I'd say, he's got a big mouth, sure, but, he's real. He doesn't, what you see is what you get. He fulfills his promises, he fulfills his word. That's why people hate him so much, because he actually does what he says he's going to do.
Yes, and I think I just interviewed people down there, and they were talking about, I always get into the wars, because I'm an anti-war guy, and I like holding people's feet to the fire. Like, we're in Yemen, he wanted to stay in Yemen and all that. And do you think Yemen would expand out to Iran? What do you think about the war in Iran? Do you want to go to war with Iran, and why? Yes or no?
That's more harder question for me. I'm not too familiar with that topic.
Yeah.
I do know that, we don't have a lot of basis to be there. So just from that knowledge alone, I would say, more or less leaning into the side of getting hands off of that situation.
Yeah.
But again, I don't know too much to say about that.
Well, my dad helped train the palace guards. He was Green Beret, and he doesn't want to go in there, and he's a Trump supporter, and it's kind of this almost like conflict of interest, like where George Washington was against foreign entanglements. And I think the more wars we get into, the less powerful our military will be to protect us at home, like the borders, and I love Trump on the borders. That's why I'm seesawing, right? I'm on the Trump train by a pinky. That's what I always say. And I'm still on the Trump train, don't get me wrong. I just got to hold his feet to the fire sometimes about the wars and stuff, and the vaccines. The vaccines get me. It's like there's a lot of people getting injured. What do you think about vaccine science and safety issues and stuff like that?
Well, vaccinations definitely has its purposes, has uses. If you're going to Africa where there's malaria everywhere, get a vaccination for malaria.
Yeah.
But as a baby, when vaccinating children, they don't have
an immune system, right?
System or anything for themselves built up.
I've read that. Yeah.
That you're injecting literal diseases that, sure, they may be weakened or dead, but you're still and there is a greater chance that the baby will actually get that disease from that injection than it will ever encounter it. Now, so I do not believe at all in baby vaccination.
Yeah.
I think if you're going to get vaccinated,
and pregnant mothers too.
Yeah,
you dropped your pamphlet here.
If you're going to get vaccinated, do it when you're older. Do it when you have an immune system built up. I have so many friends. Who have asthma, and they have one thing in common between all of them, and they were all vaccinated as
Amish kids don't usually have any of these types of problems, like autism, Guillain-Barré syndrome, you name it, that the vaccination labels actually warn about. And it's just sad to see that kind of going on, where Trump kind of almost, I don't know if he flip-flopped. I remember him saying to one of the reporters, saying that you got to take the MMR, and it's got mercury in it. It's like mumps, measles, rubella. It's also bad to take a bunch of vaccines all at once, too.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's completely ridiculous. The baby's in there getting pricked and stabbed for months straight. It's completely ridiculous.
4 or 5 or 6 vaccinations. Now it's 50 or 60 by the time you're 5 or 6 years old.
Yeah. It's
absolute insanity, and there's a huge, gigantic profit motive. You don't even know what's in the thing. In fact, if you even try to find out, the people administering the vaccine don't even know what's in it.
I've seen that where they actually ask for the vaccine insert, and they're denied the insert. They're told that it's too complicated.
Most of them don't even know. Yeah. Most of them don't even know, because they probably don't even want to spend the money, and they wouldn't want people to find out either. What kind of toxins and heavy metals are in there, and they don't want people to know about the huge number of claims. I mean, I heard that there's a tax on every single vaccine, and because of the tax that goes to pay for the claims, there's thousands of claims every year. Some of them are fatalities. People die.
Yes, ma'am.
People get maimed for life sometimes. So they have to have a huge claims fund. I mean, probably in the billions or billions.
There's secret vaccine courts.
Huge.
Yes, ma'am. They have secret vaccine courts where they pay these people off, and then they're not allowed to talk about it.
Exactly.
Yeah, they got a gag order.
Money, You know, but how do you pay someone for when their child is dead? You know, and there's no money that can compensate.
It's basically, and they're telling pregnant women to get them, and I mean there's an abortion right there.
People are just basically being so mind controlled that they don't even think to ask questions, and you're almost ashamed. My daughter recently had a baby 2 years ago. She was under so much pressure. She resisted, but she was under so much pressure to start him on his little vaccination routine. Just the shame. They shame you simply because you want answers to questions.
Yeah, my dad also worked as at the James Cancer Hospital, and he wouldn't take his vaccines. That was another reason why they fired him also. And also political correctness, guys. You have to be politically correct, which is another reason why I like Trump, because he's so anti-PC.
He's willing, and he's not afraid. He's not afraid to be hated, which is exactly, I mean, if you even stand for truth a little bit, you're likely to be hated. Even if he doesn't in every single subject. He may not be right on every single issue, and I don't know every single issue that he makes a stand on, but he does make a stand for truth on a number of issues, and a stand for our nation to return to God and to return to its historical foundations. And just that alone has caused him so much hatred and opposition. In a way, it's a shame to the average American citizen or churchgoer that we're not willing to make a stand. People are so afraid to even make a stand, even on something as simple as vaccination, out of fear of being laughed and scorned by all of your friends and family and peers.
That's just like ridiculous. The PC police. It's now we got the vaccine police, and you know, and so we'll see if Trump tries to fight the vaccine companies. You know, we'll see what happens, guys. I want to vote for Trump. I really do, and I want to see him make a couple things happen, like with the Federal Reserve, for example. Central banks and the whole thing, because that's the big ball of wax that runs pretty much the whole global economy, not just our economy. So they could have a global economic collapse. And you've heard about the globalists, right? I'll ask you this one last thing. What you think about globalism versus nationalism and sovereignty?
Well, I think it's right in line with what the great deceiver, Lucifer, wants to do. He wants a one world government, a one world order, so that he can ultimately gain control to destroy whatever's left of the light of Christ and the light of the gospel and the truth.
The actual
he wants
truth.
Complete control over people, to blind men to get control, to destroy whatever, you know, God's truth.
I would say
it's
too,
terrifyingly frightening.
On that is that, you know, when you're thinking about globalism, you're thinking about, you know, everyone just being equal together, unity,
kumbaya,
everything's perfect. You have this utopia, but you know, it's a nice, you know, maybe you can imagine it. It's a nice thought. But in reality, the facts are,
it's a pipe dream.
People are different. There are different cultures that have exact opposite ideologies. You know, take Islam for example. I mean, it is not compatible. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Christianity and Islam. One says Jesus is God. Islam says Jesus is not God. That ideology is not compatible. You can't have both. Now, I do want freedom of religion, freedom of speech, and that's why I would vote for Trump, just simply for that alone, to keep this revolution going of encouraging free speech. Doesn't matter what Trump actually says, as long as it's not, you know, directly telling people to, you know, go do violence or something, which he has never said at all. You know, I would vote for him simply because he's destroying this PC, politically correct, you know...
The Keck frog strikes again,
It's completely... the only way for, you know, PC to work is to control. You have to control people, and that's what you see liberals do.
And that's why
any liberal wants to
get bigger and bigger,
you know,
they want government to get bigger and bigger, and under the guise, it's ultimately going to be totalitarianism.
Yes, you know? Ma'am. Globalism is the ultimate totalitarianism, because once you get into it, you can't get out of it.
Exactly. They want complete mind control. They don't want free thinkers, because free thinkers are a threat to their power, really, is what it comes down to. Free
yes, ma'am.
Thinkers, anyone who stands for truth, I mean, they're basically trying to annihilate truth.
And that's why Alex Jones just bullhorned the White House, trying to get Trump to kind of start going after these internet tech companies, which he's actually starting to do, which is like, yes. So we're finally going to start seeing that. And now we got Apple, you know, they announced that they want hands-free typing and stuff like that, where you scan your brain, and they want to get into more of this technopoly.
More and more control.
Yeah.
Where, you know, once they have every single, you know, your fingerprint and computer chip under your thumb or your forehead or somewhere.
Yeah.
Then
Mark
they
of the
can
beast.
target whoever they want to target, whoever they don't like.
Yeah.
I mean, this tolerance is just such a fake farce.
It's fake
news. They don't want tolerance.
Yeah.
They want total control.
Love
so that
Trump's
they can
hate, really?
annihilate the people that are opposed to them.
Yeah, and I see the left turning into globalist minions. That's all they are now. And I think we just need to call them globalists.
That's why they came out with that movie. They're trying to they're trying to subtly, basically prepare people for what ultimately they want to do.
Yeah, and
and that's why on the left, if anyone on the left disagrees with someone else on the left, they're immediately written off as a hater, you know, advocating hate speech, anything. Like, all they did was like, hey, let's actually consider some of this other stuff. Like,
look at Jussie Smollett. I mean, they totally like started, you know, loving that guy, and he's back on the show, and
so they don't care.
Hypocrisy.
They don't care about justice or even truth, you know, or even someone can be a criminal. It doesn't matter, you know, if he's on their side, they're all for it.
They're about Jussie-tis, you know, Jussie Smollett justice. Yeah. Well, you guys have been great.
Yeah,
and
they're only about the appearance of being, you know, correct and being, you know,
they're posers.
Doesn't matter of actually being correct. Just as long as you appear correct to the majority of people and you can get elected and get your people in power, that's all that really matters. So just for that alone, Trump 2020.
All right.
You know, make America great again. Bring back free speech and just freedom. You know what I mean?
Bring America back to its founding, which is faith in the one true God.
The Constitution, Declaration of Independence. Which is basically, you know, people are becoming enlightened and more, and back then they were philosophers, and they had the best idea of their time, which was everybody's free, and we have to make it law that we're free.
Yeah.
And it's really, it's a renaissance, so we have to continue. It's our job as Americans to continue that legacy.
What people don't understand is freedom doesn't mean freedom to do whatever you want.
Right.
But it means freedom to be responsible.
It's not, democracy is two wolves and a sheep voting on what's for dinner. And a republic is where you can't vote people's rights away, like their Second Amendment, for example. And so Trump's strong on that too. Yeah. And I love Trump.
A democratic republic, not a democracy. They're trying to get people to think America is a democracy too. I mean, people don't even know their history anymore.
No, it's not. It's not a democracy. That's what pirates did.
You're doomed to repeat it.
Yes.
Mistakes.
Yeah, we can't fall, like Hitler wrote a book called The New World Order, guys. We cannot fall for this United Nations.
Well, he's their new hero, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we need to look at what Barack Obama did, becoming the president of the United Nations during his presidency, which is taking 2 seats of office, which you're not allowed to do. And, I mean, we got so much on Hillary, guys, it's coming out. Oh, it's going to be great. And so we'll just have a good one, guys. I'm going to try to get some more people here.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, have a good one. Excellent interview.